Today I'm saying goodbye to my TWC9 by Jacob Grey, so I thought I'd do a review before I let it go. I've had this, let's do a check first. Empty, nice trigger pull. I thought I'd do a review before I let it go. I've had this gun for maybe 6 months now, and when I originally bought it, I didn't do any competition shooting, and I was just collecting guns for fun. And I saw this company, they were an aerospace company. I figured they'd make a nice gun. The gun does look really nice compared to a lot of the 2011s on the market. I say the design and the quality and the finish is definitely up there. The build quality, from my experience, so I've had a few guns. I've had some HKs, I have a Glock. I've had the chance to hold an Atlas. I have had a chance to hold a Shadow 2. So I've been able to hold and shoot a few different guns. I'm by no means an expert, but I know a nice quality product when I see it. Jacob Grey has a really nice quality, great finish, really good tolerances. There has been a little more play in the slide since when I first got it. When I first got it, it was super tight. But now that I put maybe 600 to maybe 1,000 rounds through it, there is a slight play. You can't really see it, but you can feel it. I don't think it has anything to do with the reliability of the gun, but just something to note. Other than that, I think the trigger and the design is really nice. I got the KOVERT model. This was before the Hex came out, so this was the Jacob Grey TWC9 with the pin grip safety and 2 ports right here. Is also completely blacked out with the KOVERT etching right here. Let's go over some things I did not like about the gun. First thing, it's not really the gun itself, but I didn't know much about competitive shooting when I started, and I bought this because it looked cool and maybe I'd do some competition, but mostly I wanted a 2011 and I wanted a full metal frame, and this gun looked nice. This is why I bought it. But as I got into USPSA, I realized that the ports put you in open. So if you're planning to do USPSA and you want to be competitive and you don't want to go against $10,000, $8,000 fixed up race guns, find something without a port. And another thing I don't see a lot of people talk about on YouTube is everyone hypes up ports, right? They want to say, oh, it shoots so flat, it's so nice, or whatever. I think it does shoot flatter, it is nice, but nobody talks about the freaking maintenance you have to do when you have ports. When you have ports, you're going to get, if you're shooting a lot, you're going to get a lot of buildup here, and you're also going to get a lot of buildup on the inner part of the slide, which is just a pain in the ass to clean. Especially if you want to go shooting every weekend like I do. It's just a pain in the ass. You need to scrub it hard. You need different cleaning materials to get it off. So that's kind of annoying. With my Glock, I just slide the shoestring thing through the barrel and the barrel is pretty much clean. But this one, you got to get on the suit and the gunpowder to get it off. What else? It comes with 2 different plates, 3 plates actually. So there's the regular iron sight plate, the cover. There's an RMR one, and it comes with the acro. It does not come with the RMRC, or at least the one I got didn't come with it. But the plate system is pretty nice. I like it. Another thing that's happened with these newer version, I'm not sure if they fixed it in the newer versions, but I had some MIM components. The ejector was MIM, and I actually broke that maybe the first few times I went competitive shooting with it. But it could have been my fault because I put a mag that was too long for the gun, and I probably slammed it a little too hard, and that broke off. And I didn't notice until the rounds weren't ejecting correctly. Also, the slide stop here was also MIM, but when I sent in the ejector to Jacob Grey to fix, they were able to replace both of those, and these are now billets. So good on them. The replacement process and the warranty process for Jacob Grey is extremely smooth and really good. They send you a label, you ship up in your gun, and they just ship it back to you. I think all of it was done within 1 week. So that was amazing, fast, no questions asked. They upgraded and fixed more than I had problems with. The sight was also misaligned by the time I sent it in, the iron sight in the fronts, but I didn't really use it, so I didn't even know, but they fixed that for me. Other than that, it has a nice railing system down here. The trigger is good. Maybe I'm not good with 2011 triggers yet, but I did get some trigger freeze, but it's probably because I was clenching too hard. It's the Indian, not the arrow type of thing. What would I be looking for, right? Next, I hope Jacob Grey releases a 5-inch non-ported version of this gun. I saw them put something on their story and I responded to it and they gave me the looking eye emoji, so hopefully something like that's coming. This was made to be a carry gun or what duty gun, whatever it is. Personally, I don't see myself ever carrying a 2011 just because if I'm carrying something, it should be something reliable that I take into the range, I can abuse. 2011s, I just think there's just too much maintenance. I see people who are shooting limited optics at the range, and it's like the gun has to be spotless clean, well looped for it to function correctly. And after in between stages, I see these guys cleaning the 2011 mags. And it's just this is something that I wouldn't want to carry. If I take it to the range and I put 100 rounds to it for practice, and I don't know if something on here is dirty or the mag is dirty, it's not going to feed right, whatever it is, that's not something I'd want in a carry gun. This is definitely a nice range toy to bring around and stuff like that. But if I'm carrying striker fire Glock, something super reliable that can be extremely dirty, can get lint, clothes, whatever, inside the gun, and it's still gonna fire and work every single time. 2011s is so high maintenance that it's perfect if you want to use it for competition, take it to the range, you want to clean it, oil, and play with it. That's fun. I love cleaning this gun. I like shooting it. It's great, but not something I would carry, especially something full metal like this. If you're a bigger guy, maybe it'd work for you, but for me, I'm looking for something smaller. Probably plastic to carry. I have a P2000, doesn't have an optic cut. I'm considering doing an optic cut on that and carrying that. But so this is going away. I'm selling it, saving the funds. I don't know. I probably want to get a 5-inch non-ported limited optic gun. But for now, I'm shooting Glock and carry optics. By no means am I an amazing shooter, but just wanted to give my thoughts on this type of gun. Jacob Grey, do a 5-inch non-ported limited optics gun with a big magwell. I think they would really shine there, because I've compared this gun to a few other guns. I've held an Atlas at the gun store, and it didn't feel that far off from Jacob Grey, right? I had an Atlas in my hand, and I did this to the Atlas, and it didn't feel much off from the TWC9. I did get to hold a couple of the cheaper 2011s. I held a Phoenix Trinity, which is not that cheap. And then I held, was it a Platypus or was it with the Fusion XP, whichever ones, the 2011s that take lock mags. And there's a quality difference between those two. So Jacob Grey is priced pretty much right where it is in terms of quality. This is definitely not $1,000 or $1,500 gun, right? I felt those ones, it did not feel like this. But I felt the Atlas and I felt a Phoenix Trinity. And for the price of that, $5,000 and up, I felt the quality compared to this gun, and I couldn't justify paying that much more for it, right? But there's a difference that I've noticed from owning a 2011, right? There's definitely a difference between quality and the functionality of the gun, right? The quality and the tolerances can be extremely great and nice, but it's not a Glock, bro. Sometimes I just want a gun to just go bang every single time without thinking about this or this and that. And I think I'm just going to stick with Glock and train with that for a while. And while I look for a nice limited optic gun to buy. Would I buy this gun again? It's a great looking gun. Every time I hold this gun and look at it, when the light hits the edges and the serrations, it just looks so nice, right? It's all the other 2011s, I think they are starting to look the same. There are a few guns on my list that I think look just as good or if not better. I'm really interested in the Fowler 2011s, so that might be up on the list. But if I had to go do it again, getting my first 2011, this is not a bad choice. I would have probably went with a non-ported version, and I just wish Jacob Grey had released some competition models. I don't know, maybe this market is bigger, the carry market, but I wish they had done a 5-inch variant off the bat, just like how Springfield did with their Prodigy. They had the shorter version and they had the long version right off the bat. I wish these guys did. I would do a swap right now and buy the 5-inch version right now. Thanks for watching the review. See you guys.